Welcome into Occupy Democrats on a manic Monday. And one of the key things that we're going to have to continue to do as Americans with Donald Trump is not quit, not let it go. No matter how many times this man continues to not just push the envelope, but just not even care about the lines of democracy, we have to make sure that we are not letting it go. And in this breaking story, oh my, isn't it always nice when the actual judiciary branch of this country kicks Donald Trump straight in his teeth and keister. And I'm going to show that story to you in just a second, because it's getting to the place now where what's really going to happen is a fight between the Department of Justice and so many courts and judges across this country. Because what Donald Trump does is he causes people like attorney generals in the state of California, again, third largest economy in the world now, to have attitudes about constitutionalism like this.
Is California Attorney General Rob Bonta. What's at stake in California? Do you think this is an opportunity for some kind of leverage, which is something we often see from the president, or do you expect this to just go through the steps of the legal process and to have an answer at some point?
We don't bring cases to leverage. We bring cases to win on the merits. We think that he unlawfully imposed tariffs, so we're going to court to get a declaration that he unlawfully imposed these tariffs and get an order to stop him, declare the tariffs null and void and unenforceable. And we think we have a really strong case.
And one of the reasons why we have to continue to push on Trump is because his, of course, natural reaction to everything is, well, I'm just going to sue you. And yet, when he does it, he makes a big noise and, of course, does it as a distraction. But what he really winds up doing is having Harvard and situations happen like this.
The $2 billion legal battle between Harvard and the Fed starts tomorrow. That's when a federal judge will hear arguments from both Harvard and the Department of Justice. Now, at issue is the freezing of federal funds and grants to Harvard, which the school says is an unconstitutional effort to control its academic decisions.
And yet, of course, just today, Trump has decided he's already accepted losing the case against Harvard. It's all just BS. But Trump still does push constitutionality and continues to deflect and avoid the truth with things like doing this.
What can Democrats do if you all believe that laws really are being broken?
That he already has plotted breaking the laws regarding the fire and inspector generals of individuals who serve on groups like the National Labor Relations Board, and most importantly, his impoundment of funds, which is both illegal and unconstitutional.
And yet, in breaking stories like this, Donald Trump hasn't really fought or dealt with or felt any consequence for much of anything in his life for all of his criminal activities, except for if he keeps making it obvious he's hiding stuff to obstruct justice. And in this breaking story, look how he just got smacked down by a judge right here.
Stop. Judge accuses Trump administration of hiding facts that could reveal it broke the law. A federal judge in Washington, D.C. has ordered the Trump administration to stop hiding data about how it is spending congressionally appropriated money, reported Politico's Kyle Cheney on Monday. Watchdog group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, CREW, filed the suit, arguing that the administration was trying to unlawfully conceal information that would indicate it is violating the 1974 Impoundment Control Act, which prohibits the president from refusing to spend money Congress approved simply because they disagree with that purpose. The order, issued by U.S. Senior District Judge Emmett Sullivan, agreed with Crew's assessment, rejecting the Trump administration's claims that the congressional reporting requirements in question were unconstitutional. The law is clear. Congress has sweeping authority to require public disclosure of how the executive branch is apportioning the funds appropriated by Congress, wrote Sullivan. Under the law, the decision of the executive branch must be made public within 2 days of the decision. And if defendants need to make a new decision, that new decision must also be made public within 2 days. Plaintiffs in this lawsuit monitor these decisions, and they have the right to report on and republish this information. As explained in this memorandum opinion, there is nothing unconstitutional about Congress requiring the executive branch to inform the public of how it is apportioning the public's money, Sullivan continued. Defendants are therefore required to stop violating the law. The Trump administration, led by Project 2025 architect Russ Vought at the Office of Management and Budget, believe the Impoundment Control Act is unconstitutional and want to set up a legal confrontation that gets that law struck down and the president given new powers to block funding for whatever program he wishes, even long after it was signed into law. Even some Republican lawmakers have raised objections to this idea as a massive power grab away from the legislative branch.
It's not going to necessarily matter whether or not it's California and tariffs, or whether or not it's ICE and the Department of Homeland Security, or whether or not it becomes the Epstein files. When you have as much garbage in your rearview mirror and you have an entire Forest Lawn cemetery of skeletons in your closet like Donald Trump does, there does come a point at which you just can't keep it all together. And while you continue to lie and create avoidance and diversions, the truth of the matter is there are details that are going to slip out, drip out, and cause problems. And when you make the effort, and the people directly associated with you make the effort to cover those things up by actually hiding them, actually obstructing the justice, that's when you finally go down. Let us never forget, Al Capone did not go to jail for whacking people. He went to jail for tax evasion. And in this breaking story, I just showed you what Donald Trump is doing, and what he's facing is he's facing evidence evasion. That's what he's facing. And that in the end, it won't be actually just sizzle, and it won't necessarily be the steak, but it'll be the steak sauce that he's trying to wipe away from the evidence that will probably wind up ending Donald Trump's legacy and be actually the button and the sealant on his legacy. You guys stay frosty.